Oppan Gangnam
Episode's too damn long.
I'm Daniel Holmes.
I'm Blaine Dollar.
And I'm on meds. Oh, I'm Pierce.
So, Daniel, books or electronics?
I'm for books if it's personal literature. I'm for electronics if it's school related, like textbooks.
What about you, Pierce?
Never said it all. I'm all electronics.
Alright, I myself is kind of like you, a little bit balanced on books and electronics. I believe that both of them have their specifics. Like, academia is a prime example. I think it really should stick with physical books, even though I don't think that's where it'll be heading. I think books will be left with entertainment. Like, for instance, Hannibal.
Yeah, because, I mean, there's just, truthfully, there's no real, like, nothing benefits from having a physical book, really, scientifically. Like, there's no real thing. I mean, other than emotional and personal connection with a physical thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for personal reasons of reading wise, personally, I would prefer a physical book over a Kindle. I personally like Kindles. But they're growing in the market, you know, since 2000, like from 2008, now 2010 to 12, it's just rocketed up to like $119 million. People just buying this stuff. And that's because it's easier to get to. That's the same thing that happened with music. Like, it's easier to get to, so people like it faster. They don't want to go to their and that's another thing, right? I like for personal reasons, because local bookstores, you know, I have a personal connection with all local bookstores. We go there and we buy it. But, like, for textbook reasons, I'm perfectly fine with electronics. Like, because no one really gets on a personal connection with their textbook.
Even now, I mean, you're in college, you've been in college. If a teacher says, here's a textbook, what do you guys do? You go find it on the internet for $3, or free, or torrent it, or go to, you know, some guy who already had the class. But overall, you're going digital immediately because it's easy and you can kind of read it during class.
Yeah. And plus, physical books usually cost more. So.
But, I mean, I definitely agree with the personal connection part. I mean, that's the issue with the whole, you know, Xbox Durango or whatever, all that crap that's happening, is I enjoy keeping all my games, even if I don't play half of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a bookshelf. I don't even read, but it's just having them. You build a connection with them primarily just because there's just something hidden. You chose that book. You picked it out.
Well, I feel that books on a whole are outdated. It's an ancient technology that's been there since the beginning of writing, literature. I mean, we've always had books, writing. Everyone's transcribed things, their stories. That's how it's always been. And I feel like if everything in our world is advancing technologically wise, why shouldn't our ability to record and distribute information evolve as well? Such as books are not cost effective in the least. They have a massive carbon footprint because you're killing trees to make them. You have to create all the ink for them. You have to have massive factories to produce all the paper. It takes forever to write books. It takes forever to get them printed. And then they're physical objects. I have to go to a publisher, get my book published, have them print the book, and then send the book to you, or to a bookstore in which you then purchase the book. On an electronic book, I just literally go onto a site such as Amazon, and I look through their list of books, I purchase it, I download it, and within a minute, I have a book to read.
What's funny is out of all the websites, Amazon, you know, Borders, you guys all know, like, practically went out of business.
Yeah.
And so they last minute switched to ebooks and tried to save their business through ebooks. But what's funny is Amazon, specifically, online, the sales for physical books actually increased more than ebooks, which I find fascinating.
Because, like I said, there's no scientific reasoning to have a book.
Yeah.
Nothing really benefits from having a physical book.
The issue is society. The issue is we, as a society, as humans in general, we do not like change. And when you're putting something that challenges the way everyone, I mean, this isn't just like a current thing where current generations now, people are like, oh, what's a house phone? I don't like using house phones. I use cell phones. I mean, that's something where like the current generations all accept cell phones as what it is.
Yeah.
But this is the branching period right now. No one accepts electronic books really as the end all new form for books. I mean, we grew up with it. My younger siblings have grown up with books being their main form of learning and reading throughout their life. It's still a dominant feature in society. And that's the problem, is it's going to stay a dominant feature until people become more accepting of the new idea.
Also, personally, being a conspiracist, the reason why I definitely don't like personal electronic books is because it's data. And data can be destroyed. Or not destroyed, but erased,
And manipulated.
and can be shared without you knowing. Technically, having an electronic book does benefit more. You get it faster. You can share it worldwide. Like, you have one book. You share that one book. You cannot read it, but the person is reading it. Electronic book, you can just go, oh, you want this? You're still reading it. They have it on their ebook. You're both reading the same book that you got bought, and whatever and so forth. But I don't like the idea of people having their fingers in my things, because it is a possibility. We find out things so much later about our technology than we were like, no, like hearing cell phone conversations. Well, now we're so used to it, like, oh, they've been hearing it forever. Well, it's too late now. Just might as well just keep talking on the cell phone. I mean, right now we might think it's silly that they're probably keeping track of what we read. Right now we might think it's silly that they're trying to see how we react to certain books if we start rating it, doing comments.
But there
and
are
shit
counters to that, and that would be if electronic books became the main source of information in our world. The publishers that create it, such as if you look at a textbook for college, and it's got a publisher that creates that book.
Right.
Any publisher that creates a set of books would then be able to distribute it directly. There is no middleman anymore. There is no, I have to ship this out somewhere, get it printed at a printing press. There's none of that. A publisher literally, from this point, would be, we take the information from the writer, we then process and ship the information directly to you. There is no middleman. You get raw information. And then it's up to you whether or not you want to distribute it or whether or not you want to alter it. That's completely up to you.
But
It's on
that's
your device.
how it is now. That's how we think it is now. It is a possibility that they can alter that. But I'm not saying I'm against electronic books. Because I get it. Like, it's easier, it's faster. Like, I'm not saying that. That's like I was also saying that I think it would be best for textbooks. Like, I hate buying a $100 textbook. And when you're getting the ebooks, you're literally doing what you want for the textbook, which is, I just want the information.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be able to answer the questions on my test.
Well, the big thing with the school aspect was the fact that even schools will no longer be the middleman.
Yeah.
Like, universities will become obsolete. Because
No,
now
yeah.
it's going to be, I mean, look at Google. I can literally type in anything right now on my computer and look up anything, I can learn anything, whatever. And the reason books are becoming obsolete to that extent also is now I can do it on my phone. Now I can get information from emails, tweets, people, all that stuff.
And that, yeah, I get that.
Now the people creating the curriculum are going to be the publishers,
But
not even the universities.
the way I'm looking at this is I'm basically agreeing with the information wise.
Mhm.
Like, I like learning things on a dime. But for personal reasons, I look at it as how someone buys an antique. Or how someone, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, like physically wise. But there are things that obviously made other things obsolete. I mean, it happens all the time in history, you know. There's a better gun, so you buy that gun and kill someone more efficiently, but people still have old Winchesters in their house because their old granddaddy had it or something like that. You know, it's a great age for American history, whatever the fuck. What I'm trying to say is that if I want to know something, I want to know it quick. Yeah, I'll go on the information. I'll look at it. I do the same thing for audiobooks. I love audiobooks. I love listening to them. That was another thing. People thought audiobooks because they're old almost, well, not as old as books, but they're pretty old.
It's
the moment the
you're gonna
cassette
go back
tape
in
came out.
culture.
Yeah.
I mean, people would read information as stories. I mean, the audiobooks have been around for a while, just not digitally.
No.
Per se.
That was one of my other arguing points, is that in a book, books are also unhealthy for you. If you get down to the science for them, they affect your eyesight in a negative way because print is small and hard to read.
Same thing for computers.
Not true.
You can change the font.
You can change font. You can also magnify.
Well, I'm talking about like glow wise.
Well,
That's the other argument.
evolution.
If you ever seen the Kindles, not the Kindle Fires, the new ones.
Yeah, it's dumbed down.
They're not backlit.
Yeah.
Because of that, it is literally just a screen with text on it. So in
It's
that
like
sense,
those old PDF. What was those things we used to have? PDFs.
little PDAs.
Oh yeah.
PDAs.
Personal data systems.
Yeah. They used to have that. They didn't have backlight.
But the issue is if you don't have bright lights, like say from a monitor or a television screen, those are harsh lights. Eventually, they put strain on your eyes, and that has been proven. But if you have a matte verse thing, such as paper, it looks like paper, but it's just got text on it, and it can electronically shift the text.
Yeah.
It's not bad for your eyesight anymore, and therefore you can just keep on reading. And as long as you can keep magnifying things so that you're not having to strain your eyes, because that's been one of the biggest things is people, especially people who require glasses, such as myself. If I'm not wearing my glasses, I can't read a textbook at all. But I can read things on my computer screen because I can enlarge it and actually see the text. So it'll really be a medical benefit to switch to electronics, as well as a learning benefit because it has been proven that people learn better when they have visual representation to go along with text. Like, such as you're learning about math. Math's a difficult subject for a lot of people. I know a lot of people that struggle with it. I myself struggle with math. And now the issue is, if you're reading a textbook and you're reading about how to do a problem, well, it's going to tell you how to do the problem, and it's probably going to show you an example. But now with an ebook, I can have the problem show up and then have a video pop up with it, with someone actually writing out the problem, showing me step by step how to do the problem.
Yeah.
With audio components as well. Because when you're engaging multiple senses, such as the sight, visual, and you have audio, then that's multiple senses going into it, and that helps you to learn and understand.
No, I mean it's the same thing. Like my little baby sister, she's 2 years old, and learning ABCs. You go on a computer, and you just pop in a website. This particular website for helping children learn. They have the letter A. They have a video of a mouth, and it says, audibly A, and they say the sound that meant and the baby's watching that, and yeah, I mean, like I'm saying, it's gonna get to a point where people only have physical books for personal reasons.
Well,
I mean, a perfect thing is the Dead Sea Scrolls.
I
The
was
Dead
gonna
Sea
mention that as
Scrolls.
well.
The Dead Sea Scrolls are actual scrolls,
I
and
see somewhere.
they're
Okay.
old. They're old as hell, in a language that's not dead.
It was in multiple
Yeah,
languages.
it's not
And
not
the
dead
rare
language.
is the issue.
It's rare,
Very few people knew about them until
and people love them. People love this kind of literature. Not just because it says tons of stuff that we didn't know or had at the time natural book, but now we have. But it's just the idea that someone made this. And this person literally, at that time at least, and really people do the same thing in books now, they put themselves into it. They try their hardest and put all the information down. It's like making art almost. You put a little bit of yourself into this, and we can kind of feel that as a people. That's how come. Okay, ferrets. But that's how I see it. People are literally just gonna have a book, a personal book, just because they can. But for information-wise, if I need to learn something like something happened in Egypt and stuff, yeah, you pull out a Kindle or whatever the future of Kindle is, and just go, okay, and then even the audio thing.
Here's an argument to Dead Sea Scrolls. 2 points, and the first one is going to be that Dead Sea Scrolls are very unique. They are very rare. There's only so many, and they are the only copies. And because of that, no one can read them. Only the people who have permitted access to these very rare artifacts can read them.
Yeah.
So therefore, recently we've been able to take them and we've electronically comprised like all the information on them, and we've put that out online. So now anyone can see the Dead Sea Scrolls. You don't have to be a researcher or some sort of archaeologist anymore. You can just literally, Joe Schmo at home can go online and be like,
so what are you saying with
Dead Sea Scrolls?
What are you saying that we should do with the regular Dead Sea Scrolls? The original?
Well, obviously, that is an artifact now. That is something to be kept and cherished. I agree with that. But the information in them should be available to all. And that's the issue. There are a lot of rare books out there that people wrote a book but weren't able to get it published or something. But they can distribute it online as their own self-publisher.
Yeah, that's why bloggers have become such.
And that's the thing, is this opens up people to get around the corporate bureaucracy that is publishing.
We're interrupting this broadcast for an important notice. Our episode's too damn long.
We put it up in 3 parts. This is the second part.
No. Anyways. Maybe. If you're interested in seeing the second part to this video, please press one of these links that will be up here when I get to the thingy.
Down there.
Or somewhere, whatever.
That
So yeah, go to the next video.